Hello everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to Alex Vlogs. Today is vlog number 3 and the topic is 15 weird facts you don't know about. Now before I start explaining these 15 weird facts, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and press a like button if you like the video. As you see, these are 15 weird facts that you probably don't know about. Now let's start with the first one. French fries are originally from Belgium. Despite its name and popularity, the French fries are not French. The French fries, as we call it today, has origins from Belgium. According to historians, potatoes were being fried in the late 1600s. I gotta admit, I also didn't know about it. Now let's move to number 2. Popcorn was discovered by the Aztec Indians. Even though it sounds like I'm making these things up, it's really a fact. Popcorn wasn't invented, it was discovered accidentally by the Aztec Indians people. Archaeologists have uncovered popcorn kernels that are 4,000 years old. 4,000 years old. They were so well preserved that they could still pop up today. As I said at the beginning, popcorn wasn't invented, it was discovered. At the beginning, Aztec Indian people used the popcorn for a decoration. Later on, they have started using it as a food. So as you see, popcorn has come a long way, from head ornaments and necklaces to the food for the Aztec people and to the one of the most popular food in the world today. And here we are at number 3, at third fact that you probably don't know about. Crocodile can't move its tongue. Who would have said that crocodiles that are such strong animals can't move its tongue? But the crocodiles have a membrane that holds their tongue on the roof of their mouth so it doesn't move. This makes it impossible for them to stick their tongues out of their narrow mouth. Now let's move to number 4. Republic of Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt. Even though we call Egypt the land of pyramids, actually the Republic of Sudan should be the one carrying this title. They have over 220 pyramids, which is a world record. Of course, those that are most beautiful and most famous are in Egypt. And while we are talking about pyramids, make sure you check a country called Peru. And we move on to number 5. This one is pretty disgusting. The average bed contains over 6 billion dust mites. Yes, you're right, it is disgusting as it sounds. Average bed contains more than 6 billion dust mites. And every single of that dust mite produce 20 waste droppings per day. Unfortunately, beds are prime habitat for the dust mites. You can also find them in the cars. Luckily, for every problem there is a solution. So make sure you clean your apartment, house or a car with that special vacuum cleaner for dust mites. So we're moving on to number 6. More people are killed from bees than from snakes. Even though we know how important bees are for our living, even though we know how beautiful animals they are, statistically watching, bees kill more people than snakes. Don't get me wrong, I love bees, I love honey, I love the work that they are doing, but statistically watching, bees are responsible for much more deaths than snakes. But in defense of bees, we can also agree that there are much more bees in the world than snakes. By the way, do you know which animal is responsible for most human deaths in the world? Mosquitoes. And we are already at number 7. Your mouth produces 1 liter saliva per day. Yeah, I know you don't want to talk about it, but it's an interesting fact. Every mouth produces at least 1 liter of saliva per day. As Bruce Lee once said, water, my friend. Well, saliva is made 98% from water. The rest of it are electrolytes, enzymes and cells. Now enough about saliva. Let's move on to number 8. The word almost is the longest English word spelled alphabetically. Most probably you haven't noticed that the word almost is alphabetically spelled. And it is also the longest English word spelled alphabetically. Interesting, right? And we are already at number 9. Now this one is really interesting. If your DNA was stretched, it would come to the moon 6,000 times. It sounds so amazing that I have to say it again. So if your DNA was stretched, it would reach out the moon 6,000 times. This only goes to prove how special and unique every human being is. Now let's move on to number 10. New Zealand had 70 million sheep population, with only 4 million people. Now imagine, New Zealand is already an amazing country, but to have 70 million sheep, well, that's something special. But unfortunately, it's an old information. Nowadays they have only 28 millions of sheep, with 4 millions of people. After profits declined, unfortunately number of sheep continuously decline. But even with this negative trend, New Zealand is full of sheep and it's still an amazing country. Now let's move to number 11. This one is tasty. Banana contains 75% of water. We have eaten so many bananas, but I'm not sure if you knew this fact. Banana contains 75% of water and 25% of dry matter. Banana also provides you about 80 important nutrients, such as potassium, manganese, calcium, iron, fiber, and others. So if you're facing electrolyte imbalance, banana is the first one to pick. Okay, so let's move to number 12. Now this one is weird. White sharks are more dangerous than vending machines, right? Wrong. At least 13 people are killed by vending machines every year, which means there are more deaths caused by vending machines than white sharks. Almost all those deaths caused by vending machines are because people somehow end up under the vending machine. Unfortunately, when the product gets stuck, people get angry and somehow they roll that vending machine on themselves. So don't get angry at vending machines, they're very dangerous. Now let's move to number 13. Rain contains vitamin B12. Most of us were learned not to drink rainwater, but actually it's pretty safe. It also contains vitamin B12, and in most cases it's cleaner than public water supply. Only the rainwater that has touched plants or building is not suitable for drinking. And if you want to be sure that you're drinking safe and clear rainwater, then just boil the water. Now let's move to number 14. Horses sleep standing up. Horses really are special and very beautiful animals. And how unique they are we can see from their way of sleeping. Even though they are such a big animals, they can sleep either standing up or laying down. They have this special ability of sleeping standing up without worrying of falling down. It's even more dangerous for horses to sleep laying down. Usually they lay down about 2 to 3 hours per day. Laying for long hours can disrupt their blood flow. So that is why horses shouldn't lay for more than 4 to 5 hours per day. Now let's move to the last one, number 15. Snails can sleep up to 3 years. You probably already know that snails need moisture to survive. And if they don't get the moisture from the weather, well, in that case they can go sleep for 3 years. It doesn't mean that they always go and sleep for 3 years. It just means that in case of emergency they can sleep 3 years. And if the weather is nice to them, in that case they have a normal regular sleeping routine. And that's it. Those are 15 weird facts that you probably didn't know about, but now you know it. Now please let me know it in the comments which was the most weird fact you learned about today. For me it was the number 2, popcorn discovered 4,000 years by Aztec Indians. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and you learned something new. If you learned something new and you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel, like the video button, and we'll see you in the next video.